Hello, Math Masterminds. We're still working on the geometry unit, working with volume of spheres now. We've already looked at cylinders, we looked at cones. Now we're going to take a look at spheres. The formula for a sphere is a little different than what we've been working with. Notice you do not see the big B or the H for height. Instead, the formula is going to be 4/3 pi r cubed, or you may read it as radius to the third power. Remember, volume is the amount of space a 3D object occupies. Let's take a look. The first example reads, the sphere has a diameter of 3 inches. What is the number of cubic units the sphere occupies? In this question, it doesn't necessarily tell me I'm looking for volume. So I have to read carefully, and I see that I have a sphere, and it also asks me for the cubic units. That's an indicator of volume. So I'm going to start with my volume formula. And I'm going to substitute my values for variables, but my formula calls for radius. When I look back into the problem, I'm not given the radius. Instead, I'm given the diameter. So what should I do? I hope you said divide by 2. So I take my diameter and divide by 2. Now I'm ready to substitute those values in for my variables. And I have 1.5 substituted for my radius. Now I can calculate using the pi key, not 3 and 1400ths. And I get 14 and 1400ths inches cubed of space in the sphere. Second example. The bubble formed below is half of a sphere with a diameter of 15 centimeters. What amount of space is inside the bubble? It's asking me for space inside. So that's my indicator. This is volume. So I'm going to start with my volume formula of a sphere. But my picture is not a whole sphere, and it reads half of a sphere. So I'm going to have to take that formula and divide by 2 in order to give me half of a sphere. And then I'm going to do what I've done before, substitute values for variables. My formula calls for radius. I look back into my problem. I'm given the diameter. I need to divide my diameter by 2, and then I can substitute it into my formula. Then I can calculate using the pi key in the calculator. Now, when you calculate, there are different ways that you can calculate this. Okay, we've been working with the calculator, and you should know how to put a fraction in. So therefore, the easiest way will be to put it in as is. However, some of you do not have the graphing calculators, so you can always put in 4 divided by 3 times pi times 7 and 5/10 to the third power. It gets a little tricky because you have to make sure that you're separating or using parentheses and putting everything where it goes properly so that you can get an accurate answer. And once you do that, you get the volume is equal to 883 and 6/10 cubic centimeters. Once again, if you need any assistance, you can press the help button in our virtual classroom and come see me in Google Meet